Well,
Oh. Well, I've used it 4 times. I think there's 10 in that healer's kit. For some reason, it's not on the thing.
That sounds good to me. We'll just go with that for now.
Yeah.
And you stabilize
I've
your
used it
companions. Windy and Birdie, as Adrex is tending to your companions, are you leaving them with a lie or are you dragging them somewhere?
I think we should at least try to get them over where like there's some safety.
And this is going to be important when I spawn in some more wolf spirits.
Right, so we'll get them up near the cliff.
Okay. And Adrex, as you're moving your companions over and tending to their wounds and making sure that they're stabilized, Birdie and Windy, you start to see tiny people descending down from the trees. They look like... They're similar to the pixies that were harassing you all through the hedge maze, but these are much more insectoid in appearance.
Rad.
And they're carrying tiny bows, and they're descending by the dozens from the trees all around this spring. And you see they're starting to circle over towards where Adrex is kneeling next to your unconscious companions. Adrex, you become aware of this at first because of the sound of soft buzzing filling the air coming your direction.
And I'll look towards them and I'll say, do we have you to thank for dealing with the wolves?
And one of these little tiny creatures snaps its head in your direction, reaches up, and you realize that it's not like a bug creature. It's just wearing like an insect's like armor.
That's
and
rad.
It reaches up and it pulls this helmet off that it's wearing as a mask. And you see the features underneath very closely resemble the bottled fairy that Raazu brought into the White Mother's domain.
Okay, so I wasn't here for that. Is that fairy still in that bottle?
No, as soon as they crossed
it
the
was
gorge, Raazu popped it.
Okay.
As I was told.
And without saying anything, just wordlessly, this fairy just lifts its mask for a moment, then replaces it. And you can tell it's giving orders to some of its brethren. And they set about gathering what just looks like a random assortment of plants and things from the area. Bits of grass and fallen nuts and things. And they're setting to some sort of work.
I'll watch and try to figure out what they're doing if I can.
Roll
I'm always curious to see people putting things together.
Roll an Arcana check. Intelligence plus Arcana.
Can I assist him on that?
What are you doing right now?
I was just standing there watching too.
You can make an independent check.
Okay.
I'll say.
That's probably That's probably better for us.
Oh, I rolled a
16.
I rolled a 25.
Wow.
You can't tell what they're doing as they're doing it, but after a few moments, you see several of them have taken this small assortment and they're beginning to crush it up with a very tiny pestle. One of them goes over to the spring and collects their tiny little handfuls of spring water, adding it to the mixture. It becomes apparent that they're going to feed this medicine to your companions.
All right, I'll let them add it.
Does Adrex let them do it? Since you're the one currently tending to them.
Sure.
So you're going
I mean, if they wanted to kill them, they could.
You make no move to stop the swarm of weird bug people from closing on your companions and prying their mouths open and put God knows what down their throats.
Listen, they're a swarm. They've all got bows, and I can only block one arrow around.
And it's the Feywild,
Adrex,
Poison.
make a wisdom check.
Seven, 18.
They tend to red first. Red, give yourself 1 hit point. And
Okay.
this strange fairy mash, this little gruel paste that they've made. You're aware of just a very bitter and terrible flavor in your mouth, but it does seem to have brought you to your senses. Adrex, you realize that if they try to feed this to Raazu, it's not going to work. it'll just turn to ash in her mouth, and then trying to
no.
make her swallow it might do more damage than good.
So
But
Adrex will say that.
In what language?
He will say common in hopes that now that Red has come back, he'll say to Red, I need you to translate this into Sylvan? Maybe? We're in the Feywild. That he has to tend to Raazu's wounds because their medicine won't work.
They,
I'll translate that.
okay. Well, they stop their work when they recognize Adrex speaking something. And then Red, after he swallows this mouthful of this horrible tasting paste, translates it. The creatures seem to exchange glances for a moment. Then they gather up their things, and the swarm begins to swirl away over towards the large tree overseeing the spring.
I'll follow after them.
So you're going to wade out across the spring towards the tree?
Yeah.
About 15 feet in, the spring descends sharply. At that point, you're going to have to swim across.
That's fine.
Okay?
Listen, if I wasn't the kind of person to swim into this pond,
Okay, let's see how much fire damage you take. So you swim across, and you see the gnarled roots of this tree make almost a shelf over where this large, steep drop-off goes down into the depths of the earth here. And this is the first time you've seen any kind of greenery around here. This one tree has lush green branches. There are grasses and some like small weeds and flowers growing in the earth all around where this spring has heated the earth. And as soon as you step up amongst these roots and climb up out of the spring, you become aware of a voice inside of your head. And it says to speak the nature of your friend's ailment.
she's cursed not to be able to eat food.
She tells you that your friend, regardless of her bloodlusting lineage, has
Sure.
shown kindness to her servants. She asks that you bring her across the spring and lay her amongst the roots.
And Winnie will nod. And go back across to do that.
Okay?
And meanwhile, whisper to Adrex, someone's actually doing something nice to us for doing something nice for them. This is the best.
Oh my god, really? Oh, you can carry her. That's right? Yeah.
Yeah. My strength's not 6. Like,
No, I mean, she's buoyant, so you're able to get her across the spring
Yeah.
pretty easily. Did you bring her alone, or does Birdie... Because Birdie's also coming across, it looks like?
Yeah, I'll come across.
He's like, hey, there's soil over here. It's not frozen. I'm going to go dig me a hole. And Birdie, as you come back across, you both, again, hear this voice that directs you to lay Raazu amongst the roots and then place her head under the water.
alright, cool.
So we gotta drown Raazu.
Hey, it's not the first time I put Raazu's head in water.
And at first, I mean, you see the bubbles on the surface escaping from Raazu's lungs. And you hear her repeat. She says, though she may struggle, hold her steady. And Raazu does, in fact. Raazu, I mean, you feel your eyes snap open, and you have no breath in your body, and your friends are holding you under the water.
Raazu, it's magic shit. Calm down.
Punching. Okay, I can't hear you. My head's underwater.
And
I have only your best interest at heart.
Raazu's panicking.
Yeah.
This hurts us more than it hurts you.
You're exhausted.
Literally.
Birdie, are you assisting in holding Raazu down?
Yeah, I'm sitting on her chest.
You're just sitting on her. Yeah, make an opposed strength check. Raazu, you're rolling at disadvantage because you're exhausted. Windy, you're rolling at advantage because Birdie's assisting you.
Yeah, Raazu doesn't have much fight. You don't have to roll particularly well.
Well, I can roll not particularly well. Pretty good.
Oh no, you win. You win. That's a 7 on my end.
All right. That's good because that's an 8.
Wow.
Windy and Birdie. How long are you willing to hold your companion in the water when it's clear that she's drowning?
I mean,
Once you go on, if she goes unconscious, I'm gonna take her out. But I'm pretty sure she's not gonna die from drowning underneath. Like I think we can get the water out of her lungs afterwards.
She definitely goes unconscious.
Birdie's just happy to be here.
And you go to move her and you hear the voice saying to leave her be. She's entered into peaceful rest.
Does it look like that's the case?
It looks like you've just drowned this hobgoblin in this spring.
And Wendy's gonna like look up at the tree
Mm-hmm.
and then put her own head underneath the water and say, "Birdie, let me drown too if she does, but don't take us out."
So you're holding your head under the water?
Yeah,
Is your intention to drown yourself?
so that's my intention unless I hear otherwise.
What's going on
Basically,
back at
if
the
Raazu's
shore?
gonna drown from this, then I'm gonna drown from this.
The
I'm
two of you
very confused.
The two of you over at the shore of the spring watching this spectacle, you can't hear any of the voices. Birdie, you have been hearing the voice.
Yeah.
And you guys just watched as Birdie and Windy held Raazu under the water until she stopped moving and the bubbles stopped appearing.
Huh.
All
This
right,
may
so
break up the
4d6.
band.
Drop the lowest. There we go.
Red is just slumped up against the cliff, still trying to recover from being knocked out by those.
Red slumped up against the cliff, going, "No, wait."
I'm thinking Fearbolt. That's a 14 right there.
All right, I'll be playing the Snow Queen.
How much is Birdie panicking?
He's running around in circles. Like, he starts yelling at the tree. Like, what are you... He just starts just hollering at the tree. Like, just incomprehensibly and draconic.
I don't think Adrex can get over there.
Raazu,
He's wearing armor.
Hey,
make a Constitution saving throw.
net 20.
Nat 20.
Yeah.
Windy.
Yeah.
You feel intense movement as Raazu suddenly sits bolt upright.
Ah,
Raazu,
Cough,
erase
cough,
that
cough.
level of exhaustion.
Hooray.
Give yourself 1 hit point.
Hooray.
And, I mean, you were just coughing up this water, and you've swallowed a great deal of it. Your vision is blurry. You have the most horrific headache. And you feel ravenously hungry. Like, you could eat an entire birdie at the moment.
Raazu sits up, bolt upright. Looks to Windy. Food.
you have a bag?
Food.
I have
You
some
have a
cat.
bag!
I whip
Give
out
me-
some cat. The last of my
Raazu
cat.
Snaps the cat from him and eats greedily.
And it is the most delicious meat. This 6-day-old, badly preserved, hastily butchered
I'm
cat.
pretty sure cursed.
No, it wasn't cursed.
Yeah, you guys already ate cat before.
And you gobble it down ravenously.
Birdie looks at
Raazu looks
Windy
down
and
at this thing. Raazu looks down at Birdie and then gives him the biggest hug.
Birdie hugs her back.
You had a bag. It's right there.
And now the three of you, again, you hear a voice that says that your kindness has been repaid. And the voice begins to fade away.
Birdie says, wait. We have a stick.
Raazu, do you get out the stick?
Raazu looks up to the tree and says, the Snowbell Queen sent us here because she had been informed that you could reinfuse magic into this wand, I guess.
The voice asks what the Snowbell Queen has paid you for this service.
Well, quite
You actually just
frankly,
paid her tab.
You just paid her tab. Yes. You just paid her.
She
Paid
didn't
her,
so much pay us as offer not to curse us.
And though no payment awaits you, honor binds you to see the task done.
Agreed. Yes.
She tells you to carry the wand to the bottom of the spring and place it there.
Okay. And I'll do that.
Well, while she's doing that, Birdie starts gathering all the little containers that he's carrying, old potion bottles and stuff, and he asks, "Can I get some water?"
She's just filling up the water from the spring. You ask permission.
Yes, I asked permission.
She asks what you offer in payment.
Oh. Birdie deflates. The only thing I had was the stick, and I already gave it away.
I figure we can start on what the Moakton chief want us to do. I'll say, well, your spring and the surrounding land here is so warm. It's wonderful. Is there anything we could do to make more of this land as nice as it is here? Maybe we could help you out that way.
Adrex and Red standing there. I mean, you see your companions are conversing with this tree, but you're not hearing their side of the conversation. You've also seen Raazu just miraculously sit up, wolf down the rest of this cat,
And then
dig
dive
out
into a lake.
the wand, and then dive down to the bottom of the spring.
This doesn't seem all that unexpected.
It's the Feywild.
I love how we've all just become desensitized.
It's
at this
Tuesday.
point.
Raazu just throws the stick in there. A fairy comes up. Is this the stick you threw in?
She gives you the mirror
Yes.
shield. Raazu,
Yes,
you swim down to the bottom of the spring, and eventually you're not so much swimming as kind of pulling yourself forward on these gnarled tree roots that reach down deep. And you reach a point in the bottom where you see a source of light emanating from the soil in the bottom of the spring.
That seems like the good place to do it, so I will set it down there.
And you resurface.
Yep. Swim back over. Saw the and speak to the turret. I saw this that little spot of light down there. Is that where I'm supposed to put it?
You just feel like that was the right place.
That's what I thought.
You get the sense that if it was the wrong place, then probably horrible things would happen to you. Wendy, you're informed that spreading warmth through the realm would be a grievous sin in the eyes of the Snowbell Queen.
Oh, I'm surprised then that it's so nice here.
Does that mean you're not friends with the Snowbell Queen?
The voice tells you that it can no sooner defy its own nature than the Snowbell Queen can defy hers.
Birdie looks at Wendy and says, "I don't know what that means."
Wendy shrugs and says, yes, we come from a land far from here. We sometimes find the Snowbell Queen's nature to be opposed to ours as well.
At about this time, Raazu resurfaces. And the voice asks, in exchange for charging this wand, what do you offer as payment?
Brick, I'm out of character.
Yeah.
Why did the Moakton chieftain bring up the fact that this tree might help us? Was there something particular that he was going to help us with?
No,
Or was it just being...
They said that we should try to bring up opposing the Snowbell Queen, but being coy about it.
Right.
Alright, then in that case, Wendy will say, I don't know. Is there some task we could perform for you that would perhaps bring your nature more in alignment with the area?
She says that the magics of this wand are very great. This is a tremendously powerful item that you've brought here. She says that in exchange for recharging it, since her current debts have already been paid, she will require of you a service that she will entrust this task to you at a later time. Essentially, she's saying she's charging it now for a favor to be redeemed later.
And how will we know when you have this favor for us?
She asks which of you is going to accept this burden.
I'll take it.
Then she tells you, when you say that you'll take it, you start hearing buzzing, and swarms of these little creatures begin descending from the branches of the tree. One of them is hovering on its insect-like wings in front of you, and you hear the voice say, "Offer to me your blood."
And I'll take out my sword and slash a finger. Slash a palm, I guess.
I mean, the fairy was going to do it with its tiny, adorable knife, but hey, that works too.
And while doing it, I'll say to the tree, I've often found that a burden is not a burden if it's done in service of a friend.
And your blood hits the water, mingles with the spring around you, and you see it swirling down into the depths of the place. And the voice tells you, there's no moon in this place to charge the passage of time. Nonetheless, 2 days and nights will be required. At that point, retrieve the wand and return to the queen, your task complete. The swarm of little insect guys returns back to the trees.
So we're here for 2 days and 2 nights.
Is this place safe enough for us to take a long rest?
It's warm enough.
Are you asking that of the voice?
Yeah, is this place safe enough for us to rest? Yes, I'll ask the voice.
There is no response.
So setting watch it is.
Yeah.
It's alright, I got lots. This book is 400 and...
Yeah, we need to take
How
that
many
away from-
pages, Burkhardt?
420... 25? 26?
Oh, 420 pages.
Yeah.
Nice.
Nice.
Let's go ahead
No,
and
what?
take our break here. That'll give me a good 15 minutes to flip through this book and find something else horrible to attack you while you're trying to rest.
420 and 69 are the nice numbers.
No.
So everybody take 15 minutes. Go ahead and get your coffee, get your bagel. Remember to wash your butt. And we will reconvene at 5 o'clock. Do we have everybody back yet? Or are we still waiting on people?
I'm back.
Yeah, I'm here.
Did you take your shower?
No, my wife brought me lunch.
Did you clean your butt?
Oh, okay. Hopefully,
clean your butt.
hopefully it's not Taco Bell.
No, it was really great. It was a sandwich and a Twix bar and some
Kind of
falafel
sandwich?
chips and ham and cheese.
Nice, that's
and,
what I had.
some hummus and a lemonade.
I think we're gonna go out to eat tonight because we got paid $60 to babysit our friends' kids for an hour.
Whoa!
Really?
Yeah, it was amazing.
Here's Uncle
$60
Pennybags
for an
here.
hour of work? $60 for an hour of work? Wish I could
No,
get
$60 for half an hour because there was 2 of them.
I didn't do shit.
Oh, okay.
Peanut did all the
So
work.
Peanut got $60
I
for
played
an
on
hour.
my phone. When she gets off work tonight, first I've got to talk her into not giving the money back because that's going to be her first instinct. But then we'll probably just go out to eat somewhere. All right. So, what's the plan for you guys for the next couple of days? Are we going to hang out here, or are you going to go trekking off into the wilderness and have more adventures?
We should hang out here.
Yeah, I think that's probably the best idea for us to stay here.
But I have a feeling Adrex at some point would enjoy this hot spring.
Well, here's a problem though. Is Snowball Queen still thinks that Raazu is going to starve?
I'm kind of curious about the surrounding area. I mean, if we're going to be stuck here anyway, why stand still?
Because it's the only source of warmth in the entire everything.
So it's a good place to go back to.
Alright, well, if you want to trek somewhere, I'll
I'm
follow
just saying,
you.
when else are we going to get this opportunity where we have somewhere to go back that's warm?
Everybody go ahead and take the benefits of a short rest.
Uh-oh.
I love short rests.
I'm
Short
just
rests
gonna-
are so good for
I'm
me.
just gonna get all of these hit dice out of the bag and roll them. I only got the 1 hit point back, right?
Yeah, I only have 1 hit. I have only 1 hit. And I'm using it. Yay!
Oh, hey, that's max.
13
It's a
hit
good thing not having a
points.
constitution bonus.
Yeah, same.
That's the wrong die. I keep doing that. I need to.
Oh, wait, no, I'm too short.
Yeah, you are.
Dun, 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 dun.
Thank you, folks, and don't forget to tip your servers.
Jokes.
Most jokes.
So what is it that you're all looking for when you go trekking out into the woods in the vicinity of the spring?
That's a great question. What are we doing? Why are we trekking out into the woods?
Yeah.
Wendy's the nature person, so I'm just following her lead.
Okay.
I'm going to see if there's...
Didn't you say something about no distractions?
Yeah, but we're stuck here. That's the old... Listen, I'm with you. I agree.
Wendy.
But we're stuck in this pond for 2 days. I'm gonna just try to see if I can find any of the herbs and such that they were using to make the poultice that they used to heal our 2 companions. Because, like, they only got healed a little bit, but they were also being healed by tiny creatures with a tiny poultice.
Okay. I mean, you find very little. You actually don't have to trek far at all, because if you go any distance away from the spring, all of the plant life is frozen over. But all you find in the area are just kind of typical looking grasses, weeds, not particularly nice looking flowers popping up here and there. Trekking out into the actual snow in the area, you will find like broken twigs. Some of the trees out here are evergreens, but the majority are not. They're just large dead trees. So you don't find anything out of the ordinary, what you wouldn't expect to find here. You think you'd have better luck finding special plants back in the Queen's Gardens.
Alright, that's all I was interested in. I just didn't want to waste our time.
Okay. So you spend an hour coming to that conclusion, and now you still have 47 hours left.
Well, Birdie's gonna sit down and make a trap. So keep in his pack since he used
Yeah, I
the
would
other
like
one on
to-
that other guy.
Harvest materials to work on poisons.
Okay, you can go ahead and do that as per the creation rules.
Yep.
In fact, you can do that twice, because you're going to be here for the time
So,
of 2 rests.
so Raazu pokes Birdie and says, "You know, maybe we should try some more of the
Wait.
spellcrafting thing. What do you think?"
Well, okay, yeah, let's do that instead. What do we have left? I think I've identified pretty much everything else.
So
Well, I mean,
this
if you
is
wanna
where
be
I'm
trying
going to
to-
pull aside Birdie and Raazu, and I'm going to try to show them the symbol that I saw, that I got shown by the mice the other day.
Okay.
Maybe Birdie knows more about it than I do.
And you draw this little sigil out in the snow, and it doesn't look like anything in particular. It kind of looks like a figure 8 with 3 humps instead of 2. But it doesn't look like
Oh.
anything particular to you.
What do you think?
I don't know.
Figure 8 with 3 humps
So hold on.
doesn't match anything that we have
Like-
in our
like
spell
this?
list here.
That would be a figure 8 with 3 halos.
Wendy has a beak, so she can't frown at you, but you can tell
Something like
that
that.
she really wants to.
Something like that.
So you guys going to be spellcrafting? Who's
Yeah,
doing
sure.
what?
I'd say we should try. You said you were interested in trying to learn how to do the tentacle thing that the hangman wanted to do, right?
mean, tentacles are nice. But I could also... Do we have anything that's unidentified? Might be better use of the time. Because I'm kind of hoping to hold out for a freaking healing spell.
Whoops.
Since we keep dying, almost.
Hold out for a heal.
There we go.
Although, how many spells do we get? It's, it got to do with our int modifier, right?
Yes, it is max spells equals half your character level plus your intelligence modifier.
So, so I can learn 5 spells, so...
Raazu can learn 2, so she's kind of capped out until she
So I
gets
got
another level.
4 more spells I can learn.
We have a separate sheet that's all got like spell stuff on it, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Where's that?
You can't look at it because it's
That's
hidden.
rude.
Yeah. Hold on.
Treble and McDohl have been in like the Flumph party chat for like the past couple months talking about this.
Yeah, we've just been kind of kicking things back and forth.
I love how
Oh
like
my
the,
God, it's right
the
here.
first time it was introduced, and I was like, "Oh yeah, I'll have it figured out by next week."
Okay, I didn't say I'd have it figured out. I said I would waste my time figuring it out. And I didn't do that
None of
either.
that.
Exactly.
I had great intentions to.
Intentions don't get us spells. Okay, so.
Yeah.
So, do you think it would be better to learn to try and spellcraft this cantrip, the Word of Radiance cantrip, because that way that'd give us some give us a little bit of AoE. We keep running into things that need to take radiant damage.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that would give you an option to fall back on. That might
Yeah.
be a good thing.
Of course, then I'd have to be within 5 feet of it, so I don't know if that's a good idea. So let's actually try the tentacle thing.
The tentacle thing.
Yeah.
All right, so what's the name of the spell you're trying to spellcraft?
Hunger of Hadar.
It's a good spell.
So
Sorry.
Just
Oh, right.
scribbling on the corner there. He does have to draw on there. Whoa!
I didn't do that.
That's not it.
Why is he so hungry? I don't get it.
Yeah, why is he so hungry? Yeah.
Did Hadar backtalk a Baker Witch?
Oh no! Wait, hold on.
Yeah.
Almost forgot. Let's see. This is supposed to be that bell shape. Yeah. You have to forgive me. I'm okay. And
I don't have to forgive you. If I don't want to. Oops, that's the wrong file. I've got a confirmation file here, so any given rune that you're trying to spellcraft, I can check and see if it's right.
yeah. That's very lopsided.
But I think it's clear what segment it is.
Do you think magic runes still work if they're lopsided?
I don't know.
The arms just come out more on one side.
I mean, you know, tentacles.
The tentacles show up lopsided if that's the case.
Yeah.
Oh my god, it's the Hunger of Hadar.
I'm just waiting
And
for
they're all
Photoshop
concentrated
to
in one area.
catch up with me
Oh,
here.
that is really lopsided. I didn't realize it was that bad.
Mhm. Well, we don't have tablets or anything.
So this is what we're going with, huh?
Yeah.
This
Yes.
kind of hanging to the left there.
A little
Like
bit.
I can redraw it if you want. Like,
Birdie.
does this bother?
Go ahead and transcribe Hunger of Hadar onto your spell sheet.
Yes. Okay.
I want a magic spell.
I don't know what the hell this is. What the?
That's the rune for happiness.
Raazu, go ahead and
That's
Go
Hadar
ahead.
and he's hungry.
transcribe fucking Hunger of Derp Face onto your spell sheets. It's a 3rd level spell, so it's going to cost 3 blips to use it.
Cool.
Do you even have 3 blips left?
Yeah, I've got all my blips.
Oh.
I'm not the one that's been using them.
That blips don't blip. And it's kind of annoying.
It's because I'm way in the back.
That don't mean you don't use blips.
McDohl, would it make you feel better if every time he tried to retreat in a direction, I just spawn a wolf on top of him?
That would be great.
Okay, I'll do that.
Is that a train?
No.
Yep.
Is anybody else doing
Nice.
anything over the course of the 2 days?
If you want, I could help Adrex spellcraft a spell. He'd be really good at learning Word of Radiance.
Yeah. Anything that adds to my attack, because I get multiple attacks, would be
Well, it wouldn't be an
fantastic.
attack. It'd be it's like a spell, so it'd be like an AOE.
Nah.
No.
But like you could hit everything within 5 feet of you and do like 1d8. Is it 6 or 8? I don't remember. Radiant damage.
Do you know a spell that could set my sword on fire? That'd be cool.
Okay, I'll keep an eye out for that.
Because then every time I swing my sword, striking with fire.
But you're an ice dragon.
I mean, I won't be picky. Like, oh, it's an ice sword. Every strike is ice. Ooh.
We had a wand that set arrows on fire, but we gave it to the pig people.
Yeah, don't do that. Don't
Raazu.
give our magic things.
I didn't. That wasn't me. That one wasn't me.
Raazu, after 2 days' time, the voice directs you to retrieve the wand from the base of the spring.
Swim on down and grab it.
Okay, and you have to kind of dig it up from the silt. And you see where some of these tree roots have reached up from the bottom of the spring and kind of coiled around it. So it takes some doing to wrench it free. You come back up, and from then on, the voice is silent.
Thank you.
Tree just says Donata.
I guess we go back to. The Snowbell Queen.
So what is the plan upon return? Are you going to... Because you've got this triple-pronged attack you're going to try to pull off. And especially Adrex, 2 of your friends, looks like Windy and Red, are talking about going to the Snowbell Queen's galleries and stealing her scepter.
Oh.
Because the notes that I have say Rasu's going to turn in the wand, while Windy and Red get the scepter from the gallery, and Adrex and Birdie get the apples from the orchard.
Oh. They talked all about that all in front of Adrex, did they?
Yep.
You guys had this big discussion about it with...
In that case, Adrex is
Birdie.
insistent that he go with them to get the scepter.
Okay.
No, Adrex, we need someone to watch Birdie. Birdie, we need someone to
you
watch
should-
Adrex.
You should watch Birdie.
We need someone who can be stealthy on both jobs.
That's...
That's me and Birdie.
I really think I should go with you guys to get the scepter.
I don't want to leave Birdie alone in that orchard.
Agreed.
Is there a problem with the scepter that you're expecting? I'm hoping I can just sneak in there, palm the thing off, and get out before anybody really notices.
I don't...
What's your deal, Adrex?
Don't think you should do that. That would be
Why not?
bad.
I mean, we're just going to give it back to the other princess who it belongs to.
Yeah, that's not a thing I think you should do.
Adrex, the entire reason for us coming here was to get this scepter so we can get the hell out of here.
Don't you want to do
Now
the
you're telling
right
us
thing?
it's a bad idea. Why? Raazu puts the back of her hand against Adrex's forehead,
I'm
like she's checking for fever.
Yeah?
I just don't think it's a good idea.
Do you have a better idea?
Yeah, who
No.
So there we are. We're stuck with the best of the bad ideas. And as for where I'm sitting, this is it.
I don't want to have to fight you.
Why would you fight us?
Will.
Why?
Because she told me to.
Who? Oh no. Oh no. This is less than ideal.
Yeah. So let's not steal the scepter.
Birdie stealthily pulls out rope.
Stealth rope.
He jumps on Adric's back and starts trying to tie him up.
Where are we when we're having this conversation?
This is your first day back, so at the end of this day's march, you'll arrive back at the woodcutter's cabin.
Okay.
You think we should just tie him up?
Take him, leave him. Let's leave him in the woodcutter's shack.
No.
That's the wrong way to go back to pick him up on the way back.
No. That's a bad idea.
Okay, then
Yeah, I think Birdie could probably get the apples by himself.
Yeah.
Do you want to just circle around and leave him to the south so that we can pick him up on the way back?
Maybe we could take him to the meat pie lady.
No, I'd rather not have anything to do with that one. Ever again.
Is
I've
there
never
any way
seen
to
her again.
break the hold she has on him?
What hold? What are you talking about? Our
So
love is very natural.
I have an idea. So, which do you prefer? Do you like doing the right thing, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So, taking the scepter is the right thing to do.
No. Definitely not.
But it frees a lot of people from slavery.
But that's. My head hurts.
I'm trying to reboot him like a robot with a.
This sentence is false! Don't think about it, don't think about it.
Adrix reboots in Spanish mode.
Bienvenidos, por favor.
It's the least ideal thing, but
I think we're going to have to leave him to the south.
I think what we'll have to do is tie or chain him up somewhere, leave him somewhere, maybe go down to one less person so someone can stay here and keep an eye on him. So he
Yeah, I think Wendy's gonna have to stay here, and I think we're gonna have to go get the items on her.
Wait a second here. Just real quick. You're telling me that we're in a mission to get out of there as fast as we can after taking these things, and you think I should be the one who stays back?
You can't fly.
I can run.
You're also not as good at sticking to the shadows. Is really.
I'm almost as good.
I mean, I know you guys are trying to take the scepter, and I'm really feeling like I need to stop you, like, right now.
What specifically do you need to stop?
You guys from taking the scepter.
And anything else we do is fine? So if I decide to grab a couple of priceless artifacts while I'm in there, that's fine?
That would absolutely not be fine, by the way.
That would absolutely not be fine. No, don't do that.
Okay. And is that because... let me think here. So, what if I were to grab a couple of priceless artifacts.
I don't
Some
think
other
you
place.
should steal from the Snowbell Queen. I think that would
Right,
be
so what
really
if,
bad.
what if I find some other person out here to steal from instead?
What do I care?
Well, technically.
Alright, so I think we've established the parameters of what he's been compelled to do.
Well,
And so our solution of chaining him up somewhere, leaving someone to watch him so he doesn't try to escape, and doing it ourselves.
well,
Group huddle.
Alright.
You're not invited, Adrex.
I'm part of the
Right.
group.
not
So
today.
what-
You're not. Back
Do you
off.
think it's possible to convince him that the scepter doesn't belong to the Snowbell Queen and therefore it's fine that we can steal it?
Like, the best bet would be convincing him it belongs to Princess Dandelion.
Exactly.
I think Adrex is pretty dumb.
Maybe we could trick him into thinking we're stealing from Princess Dandelion.
Can you outsmart a charm spell?
We don't have to outsmart a charm spell. We just have to outsmart you.
Who's gonna try to convince Adrex of this?
I'm thinking I will.
Okay, Red,
Seems like it's in Red's wheelhouse.
make a deception check.
Yep.
Roll high.
Really? Because Adrex thinks that's a great idea.
That's not what he's rolling against.
I know. I'm just saying. It's a great flaw Adrex has.
It's a 19.
19? Adrex, you're not convinced by any of their arguments, no matter what they try to tell you. It really just sounds like your head's hurting. It sounds like they're just trying to trick you in on some technicality. But you can't be sure without checking with Lurvana. She'd be the person to ask.
Okay.
However, it becomes immediately apparent that any attempts to tie you or chain you and leave you anywhere under guard, you have to fight that tooth and nail, because that is absolutely facilitating this burglary.
Got it.
And then after the first day of marching, you arrive back at the woodcutter's cabin. Or rather, the
Wait a second,
trees
only-
leading off to the woodcutter's cabin.
I still have my non-message magical abilities, right?
Yeah, all
Okay.
you've lost is your cantrip.
Alright, group huddle at
huddle.
night. And we're actually just gonna go ahead and...
Who dropped?
No, Destil's in the other channel.
Oh,
Wait. Oh, he's waiting for everybody to go over there.
Okay, hold on.
So,
Everyone.
okay.
Where's... Come on.
Expecting this.
Okay, wait.
Okay.
Okay. Alright, I still have my suggestion. I can suggest to him that
Yeah.
he should allow us to take the scepter and not say anything, and then we can see what happens when two magical compulsion effects fight each other.
we can do that and try to kill him. Or we've seen supposedly this woman is in the Snowball Queen's court, right?
Yeah.
And we've also seen her at the other court. Well, that's just the equal amounts. Maybe we can convince her she went back.
Wait, what? Convince who that she went back?
Convince Adrex. If we convince him that this woman is in the is in the summer court, well then he's
He
got
has
to bring
go
the scepter
and
there.
Yeah.
Listen, I could just summon tentacles on Adrex and just call it a day.
We're not
That
trying
might
to
kill him.
We're not trying to kill him. We're trying to subdue him so he doesn't.
Trying to gently tentacle him to sleep.
Too bad.
Adrex, make a Constitution saving throw.
$22.
Okay, count to 10 and then join the private chat.
I think trying that. I think the suggestion thing that you have is probably our best bet.
Alright.
So, all right.
And
Shall we go
here's the
back?
thing: I don't think Adrex is smart enough to pretend to go along with the suggestion.
And then,
If it
at this
fails-
point in your conversation, you see Adrix begin to stir where he was sleeping in his side of the cabin.
all right, so we're decided.
Sure.
Really looks like they're up to something.
Hey, buddy.
Hey, Adrex.
So the next day's march is tense, to say the least. And eventually you see the castle coming up on the horizon. And it's go time. It's time to put whatever plans you have into motion.
How long does that last?
8 hours.
Okay, then yeah.
So,
Probably the best.
I'm gonna go ahead and use my snaky suggestion on Atrix, and I'm going to tell him.
I'm sorry, your
suggest
what
that you-
suggestion?
Snaky suggestion.
And
My character doesn't say that though. That was Destil describing it,
non-sniper bonus.
not Red.
I was really hoping it would come up with the encounter with the mice. That would have been a lot better. Anyway.
I suggest you go along with Birdie and keep him safe, and don't speak to anyone else as long as you're in the castle until we get back out. And he gets to make a DC 15 Wisdom saving throw.
Here comes that 20.
He's been holding it.
Oh, there
Oh.
it is. There it is. Oh, McDohl.
Thanks, Keelan.
So nothing happens on a success? Does he know? It says I'm reading the spell. It doesn't say that he knows he's been
No.
charmed. I mean, that course of action doesn't sound reasonable because if you do that, they're just going to steal the scepter.
Yeah, that sounds like bullshit to me. Why don't we all just go talk about this with Lana? Hmm? That seems like a totally reasonable suggestion on my...
With who? With Lurvana?
Yes.
Okay.
Who's with me?
Well, maybe that isn't a bad idea.
Yeah.
That roll didn't
I've
mean
been
anything.
known
I
to be
just dropped my
persuasive
die.
in the past.
Okay. I guess that's what we're doing then.
I still have rope.
So you guys are in eyeshot of the castle now. They know that you're arriving. The outer guards have lowered the drawbridge across the frozen moat. Which is dumb, because you just walk across the ice, whatever. And you enter into the Moakton town. So the plan is to find Lurvana and have a chat with her.
This seems like a terrible idea.
It seems like an incredibly bad idea.
But is that what we're doing?
It sounds like that's what we're doing.
Where is this conversation to take place?
Let's. So the Moakton village is inside the castle walls, right?
Yes, inside the northern curtain wall, there's several small domiciles. She has like a few dozen Moakton that live here.
Okay. Here's my plan. Raazu goes to return the wand to the queen.
Okay.
While that happens, and again, speaking to where Adrex can't hear, the three of you jump Adrex, tie him up in the guest quarters, and we do our thing, and then retrieve him once we got the stuff.
So my question is, how are you telling your other companions to do this without Adrix hearing? Or are you waiting for him to leave to retrieve Lurvana?
would imagine that this would happen as soon as Adrex leaves the guest quarters to go and retrieve Lorvana, because that sounds like the funniest thing.
Adrex, you make some inquiries as to Lorvana's location. And at the time, she is at a Fletcher's out in the Moakton village, having ice-tipped arrows made. And I mean, her face just brightens when you step into the store. And I mean, your head still hurts, and you're still kind of fuzzy and confused.
Yeah. Hey, you.
She says, "What a pleasant surprise. I expected you'd be beyond the Queen's walls for several more days."
Nope. Got done what we needed to. You should, we should, go have a chat with some of my friends, huh? I think that would be good. Yeah. We should do that. You and I.
She asks about one of your friends in particular. She asks if you notice anything strange about the bird woman as you journeyed out into the wilderness and back.
No. Not anything more than usual.
At this point, she turns to the Moakton, whose shop it is, speaks to him in Sylvan for a moment, which you don't speak, right?
No.
And he very hurriedly gathers what materials he was working with and shuffles out of the shop, leaving the two of you alone.
That's ominous.
She says that, unfortunately, your companion, we may no longer call her friend, has committed a great crime.
What? No. Windy?
She stole fire from the Queen's palace and took it into the wilderness.
I'm sure it was a misunderstanding.
It's not. You know for sure that she brought fire because you were there when she gave it to the mouse people.
Okay.
While this conversation is happening, Raazu is briefing the others on her plan. So when Adrex comes back with Lorvana, we jump the two of them, tie them up. I've got a set of manacles. We can use those two, and we do our thing.
So is that your guys' plan? When they come back, you're going to jump the both of them and try to tie them up?
I mean, my plan is to jump her and knock her unconscious, and hopefully that fixes Adrex. I have found most spells to be solved by punching.
Adrex.
Yeah.
Lorvana takes her pack. It looks like she's here provisioning to set back out into the wilderness, her being one of the Queen's Rangers. She opens her pack and she takes out what at first looks like a collection of rope. But she spreads it wide and you see that it's a kind of glittering silvered net. She tells you, or she asks you if she can trust you with a task of utmost importance for the Snowbell Queen.
Yes, absolutely.
She hands you this net, and she charges you with the capture of Windy, and asks that you bring her before the Snowbell Queen to face judgment.
You got it. My head's really cloudy right now.
This is a mess.
And then she
Mess.
She apologizes for imposing such on you. And what is it you wanted to see me about?
You know what? I'll take care of this first. Before, Yeah. I'll go take care of this.
She says, very well.
Man, my head.
Raazu.
Hey.
As you guys are conversing in your quarters about how you're going to jump this poor defenseless elf who's done nothing wrong,
Birdie.
Ubrid finds you in the room, welcomes you back, trusts that your journey has been safe, and she gives no indication that she ever left to meet you. She tells you that the queen has been delighted to hear of your return, speaking specifically to Raazu. And says that she'll receive her in the throne room immediately.
Ubrid, we're compromised.
And she doesn't know what you mean by that. Or she acts like she doesn't know what you mean by that.
One among our number has turned traitor.
And she looks at your companions kind of quizzically.
Raazu shakes her head.
She's, well, nonetheless, whatever personal issues you're having with your friends, the Snowbell Queen has requested your attendance immediately.
Raazu taps the side of her nose. Nods.
Subtle. Way to go.
What are Birdie,
Nailed it.
Red, and Windy doing at this moment?
Birdie is waiting for the pig lady to leave so he can set a snare trap in front of the thing for Adrex to bumble into.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
And yeah, so Raazu will.
I'm excited because this is a good time for a trap.
I'm gonna kind of
Red
like.
is- No, go for it.
Well, I was just gonna say I'm gonna kind of hide behind the wall, so I can't be seen from the doorway,
Mm-hmm.
and just so I can grab him when he comes in.
Red assumes they have that well in hand and disappears.
Disappears where?
To the art gallery.
You're going up to the art gallery. Okay, make a... Are you trying to not be seen on your way?
I'm trying to not draw attention to myself. I don't care if anyone sees me, but I don't want people like, think that I have like. I want it to look like I'm just walking through the
You're
castle.
carrying a
or
sheet of
or
paper.
something.
Okay, go ahead and make a deception check.
Yep.
Birdie, make me your dexterity Tinker's Tools check.
Raazu leaves her manacles with Wendy.
And Adrex, I mean, you're carrying this net heading back into the keep, and you can feel it's made of cold metal, but it's incredibly light. It doesn't feel like you're carrying like a bunch of chains. It's incredibly light, and it shifts as you hold it. It feels like it's resisting getting tangled in and amongst itself.
Wild.
16, by the way.
16 on deception as well.
Okay. The art galleries are vast. There are several of them, like an entire wing of the castle. But you've been given directions to the particular statue that you're looking for, and you do.
Well, I'm not gonna go directly to it in that case. I'm gonna just make my way across the galleries, going in other directions first, just admiring, pretending to admire the art
Okay.
while I'm basically casing the joint. Like I'll spend an extra 10 or 15 minutes to get a good feel for the layout, entrances, exits, and who's paying attention first.
Nobody's paying attention as far as you can tell. In fact, once you get into the galleries, you don't see any servant presence anymore. It's actually a little bit unsettling.
Okay.
But your plan is to make your way up to, after casing the joint for a little bit, to go up to the statue and retrieve this
Yep.
lance?
Yep.
Birdie, are you hiding the snare trap, or are you just building it so when he opens the door it gets triggered?
Yes.
And
Second-
which of these three effects are you trying to do? The first is a strength versus your check, or get knocked prone, and
That one.
speed equals that one? Okay.
Wait, what are the other two?
The other one is dex check, or take 2d4 plus dex mod non-magical damage.
Yes,
The
that-
third
that's not
is a con check, or be poisoned.
First one.
Yeah, so like,
Unfortunately, that's playing to his strengths.
Poisoned is probably the best.
Oh, well, maybe.
You have disadvantage on all attack rolls and ability checks.
But not saves.
Still seems pretty good.
I mean, he's... I'm sure Adrex is trained in con saves, right? Strength and con?
Yeah.
like of the two, I think strength would be best. So
All right. Red, you eventually do find the statue that you've been directed to, and you see he's very clumsily holding this lance. If you hadn't been told what was up with it, you would think it was just like a bad carving, but being told that he was holding a sword at one point, you can see now, oh yeah, they just kind of ramshackled this lance into place. It looks like he's holding it with one hand and kind of leveling it on his other arm.
So, in that case, what I'm going to do is take my own sword and just do the Indiana Jones switch.
Well, you reach up, and your hand, you touch the lance, and it goes right through it, as though it's an illusion. You feel around for a moment, and you realize the scepter itself is much, much smaller, having been wedged in underneath the hand.
Okay.
The bulk of the actual structure of this lance is just illusion. You find the real scepter hidden amidst it.
Yep, switch it with my sword. Is it still illusioned after I take it off? Am I able to remove it?
Yeah, I mean, it takes some doing, but you wrench it out, and the illusion still holds. So you've got this enormous lance just kind of poking in both directions.
If I tuck it under my clothes, does the lance part of the illusion stick out, or does that conceal it?
It sticks out of your clothes like you're a bad collection of PlayStation polygons.
And how big is the lance? Like, how long is it?
I mean, we're talking a good 6-7 feet, right?
Okay.
Now Red is the Snowbell Queen.
You can't tell what the
direct
scepter
way out
looks
of the
like
castle from here.
out of the castle.
Yep.
I mean, you could probably find a second-story window to leap from if you wanted.
That sounds perfect.
So you're gonna go out a window and shimmy down?
If I can, unless I can make a jump over the curtain wall from here.
No. I mean, you've got there's way too much distance, and the wall is way too high.
Okay. Yeah.
But you've been in and around the grounds enough to know where the better parts. So you have a couple options. If you go south, you're going through where the guards' quarters were stationed, where you found the smithy and whatnot.
Yeah. Is the wall climbable? Like, is it super smooth, or is it just set stone?
It's pretty smooth, and it's kind of slick because it's made of ice, but the ice is structured to look like stone in places. It's structured to emulate it. So probably difficult, but not impossible.